heard you like plant-based protein. I can show you where to get some. Good morning and welcome to breakfast on this very cold, snowy, wintry February morning. Yes, it snowed here. I know it's probably not that exciting to you, but we don't get snow here very much here in Vancouver. It's true, we get maybe like one whole week of the year where it snows, so it's kind of exciting. It's kind of sad that we only get that much snow, but it's also kind of nice because I don't like driving in the snow. Anyway, you want to hear about breakfast, that's why you're here. And I have a delicious breakfast incoming, you guys. I am having protein oatmeal today, something I eat every week. I make a big batch of it once or twice a week that we can kind of just have leftovers of for a few days in a row. And I just add protein powder to it. I have one of my favorite brands that I use. It's like a vanilla flavor from Good Protein. You can check out my code below if you want a discount on some good quality vanilla plant-based protein. And then I just kind of build my bowl from there. It's super easy. I'm making a PB&J protein oats bowl today. So I've got some blueberry chia jam. I always have chia jam on hand. I have a recipe for it below. You guys can check out on my blog. And then I add some peanut butter. Now I'm using the PB Fit powdered peanut butter because it is lower in calories. It's like defatted peanuts basically that you just reconstitute in water. So it's great if you are looking to lower your calories, but up your protein. That has a significant amount of protein in it as well. And then for more protein, wouldn't you believe it, I'm adding some hemp hearts on top because those are not only high in protein, but also healthy fats, which are good for your brain. Top it off with a little bit of coconut and there you go. A delicious high protein plant-based breakfast. All right, PB&J protein oats incoming. One of my faves, never disappoints. This is gonna keep me full for a long time, fueled for my workout today. Now I know you guys want to know what are the macros of this meal, and I have tracked them with my macro tracking app. She comes to 525 calories, which is pretty incredible for considering how big this bowl is. 69 grams of carbs, 14 grams of fat, and how much protein? 31 grams of protein. In this bowl, 31 grams of protein. And honestly, it's just all the little things you add to it. The peanut butter, the chia seeds, the hemp hearts, they all have protein. 31 grams of protein, 31 grams of protein, 31 grams of protein. While I was working out, I got a little knock, knock, knock on my door, alerting me that my Odd Bunch produce delivery had arrived, which is always fun, always looking forward to that every week right now. And if you haven't heard of Odd Bunch, they are a produce delivery service here in Canada, and they are popping up in cities all across the country, so definitely be on the lookout for them in your city. They sell boxes of imperfect produce that's a little off looking, maybe that's a little bit misshapen, but perfectly good to eat. What happens is that farmers get all this kind of weird looking produce that they can't sell to grocery stores because grocery stores are really picky and they only like perfect looking produce, which I think is super lame. Anyway, it's to our benefit because we get to purchase all this funny looking produce for a fraction of the price because companies like Odd Bunch exist where they gather up all this unwanted produce that is, again, perfectly good to eat and sell it to customers for a reduced rate, a very reduced rate actually, and they deliver it right to your door, and it's amazing. Like, holy crap, look at the stuff I got this week, you guys. A perfectly beautiful eggplant, perfect little avocados, a giant zucchini, wonderful, juicy, plump bell peppers, massive carrots, bok choys. I got a whole bag of perfectly good looking grapes, and more. If you are in Canada, check out to see if Odd Bunch is in your city or if they're coming to your city soon. And if you want to save a few bucks on your first box of Odd Bunch, I got a promo code below for you. And even if you don't have Odd Bunch where you live, or you live in the States or elsewhere, check to see if your city has an imperfect produce delivery network, because they're popping up all over the world, and I encourage you to take a look because if you can help to fight food waste while also saving money, like, it's a win-win. So there you go. Now with all this amazing produce, I'm gonna make some lunch, and these bell peppers got me thinking taco bowl, I'm thinking. thinking. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So let's see what I can come up with. Okay, so I wanna do a quinoa base for our taco bowls today. So I've just got some quinoa and water here in a little saucepot. And we're just going to bring that up to a boil and get that quinoa cooking. But what I want to do to make it a little bit more flavorful and zesty is I'm gonna add some taco seasoning mix to my quinoa. I've never tried this before, but I feel like it's gonna be good times. So I'm just gonna add like a little sprinkling. I don't know, probably 2 teaspoons. I feel like that will be enough. Just to give it extra flavor, extra panache, you know what I mean? FYI, quinoa has a lot of protein and it's actually a complete source of protein. You have all the amino acids needed for your body to build protein, which is fantastic. It's like 4 grams of protein per every half cup of cooked quinoa, which is amazing. Speaking of protein, I have here some soy chorizo from Trader Joe's. I do love this stuff. It's so freaking tasty. And again, it's also pretty high in protein, like per 1/3 of a cup serving of this chorizo. I've been made fun of for how I say chorizo, so just leave me alone. It's like 130 calories, and where's the protein? I just had it. Oh, 8 grams of protein. Not bad. So I've just got about half a tablespoon of olive oil heating up in a pan, and once it's all hot, we're just going to squeeze out our vegan sausage from the casing here. Sizzle, baby, sizzle. Damn, this is really quite a process. Told you, what'd you do? Oh, I don't know, spent 30 minutes squeezing vegan sausage out of a plastic tube. You? Now, the great thing about this stuff, other than it tasting delicious and being high in protein, of course, is that it's already seasoned. It's got all the spices, all the flavorings. So you don't even have to do anything. All you gotta do is warm it up in a pan, get it nice and browned like you would like ground meat. Then you're pretty much ready to start building your taco bowl. So let's go and work on those other ingredients while this cooks and the quinoa cooks. Okay, so we are just going to dice up our yellow and red bell pepper, and we're going to, I don't know, do I want to finely mince up or do I want to slice my shallot? I think I want to finely mince it up. I also forgot I had a boatload of grape tomatoes, so I'm gonna slice those in half. There we go, all of our produce prepped for our taco bowls. I also have some other fine accoutrements for our taco bowls. We've got some corn, previously frozen that I thawed it, some edamame that I also thawed, and some black beans. So we're getting all kinds of sources of good plant-based protein here. Our quinoa is done. It's looking fluffy and spicy and it smells divine. And our soy chorizo is also looking just fantastic. It's nice and brown. The last thing we gotta do is come up with some sort of fun, zippy, taco-ish sauce. What can I do? Okay, we're gonna do half a block of silken tofu, a couple chipotles in adobo, nice and smoky and hot and delicious. Ooh, that's a big one. I think I'll just do one. A tablespoon of maple syrup, the juice of 1 lime, plus a couple tablespoons of plant-based mayo. I've decided we're adding the whole block of tofu because things aren't really blending properly, folks. Well, there you go, friends. In like 25 minutes, I whipped up all the things to make a delicious taco bowl. And not just one bowl, I can make a bunch of taco bowls. In fact, this is like a perfect kind of setup for meal prepping a bunch of components for several delicious meals throughout the week that are high in protein. So with that being said, let's make a taco bowl. Y'all, can you even right now? Can you even? This looks so good and I am so excited to eat it. Taco bowls always make me happy dance. So much flavor, that sauce, so good. By the way, like 5 grams of protein per every 1/3 of a cup serving of this sauce. So yum. I just love bowls like this because, man, I forget how much protein you can pack into such a big bowl for like considerably less calories than I would have thought. Like this entire bowl only comes to 521 calories. Like that's wild. And it's 29 grams of protein. Everything's got protein. The soy chorizo, 8 grams. The edamame, 5 grams. The black beans, 5 grams. The quinoa, 4 grams. The vegetables, many grams. Well, I'm gonna go and eat this bountiful bowl of beauty. I am currently at 60 grams of protein for my day so far, so I have another 40 to hit, but I still got snacks and dinner, so let's see if I can do it. Fingers crossed, and I'll be right back. Welcome to dinner. You guys, I'm a little bit excited. No, I'm quite excited for tonight's dinner. More excited than I normally am because I'm making meatballs. Yeah, vegan meatballs, you guys, with this stuff. This right here is called TVP, aka textured vegetable protein, which is a soy product. It's basically like dehydrated and defatted soy. And then you just rehydrate it in water, very similar to soy curls, which you guys know I love so much. And it's like the perfect ground meat substitute. You can use it for taco meat. You can use it for Korean beef bulgogi, all sorts of crumbly meat things. Perfect in pasta sauces. And I figured, let's try making meatballs with this stuff. We're gonna take 1.5 cups of our TVP. Again, looks like that. It's very crumbly. We're just gonna put it in a bowl. Oh, and I forgot to mention how much protein is in TVP. Just to put it into perspective, a 1/4 cup of this stuff dry, just a 1/4 cup, which is like this much, is 12 grams of protein with hardly any fat, and it's actually pretty low in carbs too, like 9 grams of carbs. That's it. Now we are just going to reconstitute our TVP with some hot water. If you aren't lazy like myself, you could always make this into veggie broth, but we're just doing water today. It'll be fine. Vegetable broth would add extra flavor, but it's not necessary. Whoa. Now we're just gonna let this kind of soak up for about 10 minutes while we prepare our other ingredients. We've got here some fine looking garlic cloves and a nice hefty shallot. We're just gonna finely mince these up. And then we're just going to saute them in a large frying pan. I'm just water sauteing them, but you could always use oil if you aren't watching calories at the moment. So just saute them for a few minutes until they're nice and softened and smelling extra fragrant. Okay, so our TVP has rehydrated nicely. It's soaked up a lot of that water, but not all of it. So we're just going to pour it into a strainer over the sink. Beautiful, it's nice and much drier, more crumbly, less wet and soggy. We don't want wet and soggy. That would just be most unfortunate. Okay, so what's next? We are going to flavor, season this meaty mixture with all sorts of good things. We've got a cornucopia of delightful spices, some smoked paprika, basil and oregano, salt and pepper, and some cumin seeds. We've got 1 flax egg, 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar, and 1 teaspoon of vegan Worcestershire sauce. And now we're just gonna give that all a real good mix until everything is well combined. Also, let's not forget about our garlic and onion. That would be tragic. Just a travesty. Once that's all mixed together, we're gonna add in our last 2 ingredients. This one is lupin flour. Now, if you've never heard of lupin flour, it's a pretty awesome lower carb alternative to other gluten-free flours, and it's super high in protein. It's got like 24 grams of protein just in this 1/2 cup alone, and it's only 148 calories, so that's pretty cool. But if you don't have lupin flour, that's fine. You could always use chickpea flour. And as our last binding ingredient, we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of tapioca starch. Mix it all together until it's a nice, well-combined, meaty mixture. Sick, bruh. Now, if you haven't already, get your oven preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, s'il vous plaît. Okay, I have got myself a fun little baking sheet. So fun. Now, I'm just going to lightly spritz it with oil Or you could always use like a silicone, silicone liner. Baking sheet prepped. Now it's time to roll up our sleeves. And we're gonna turn these bad mama jammas into some delightful meatballs. Just gonna roll them into little meatballs. It might be easier to just kind of smush them instead of roll them. That's what I found when making plant-based meatballs. Look at that. They came together quite easily. And now, repeat approximately 20 more times. Now, we're just going to bake these meatballs for about 25 to 30 minutes, just until they're nice and golden on the outside, a little bit crispy, but still like soft and tender on the inside. And we're just going to flip them halfway through the cooking time. So what I'm gonna do in the meantime is I'm gonna spiralize some zucchini zoodles for myself, because I just feel like having a lower carb pasta tonight. No hate against pasta, trust me, I love pasta. And I'm still gonna make some for Brad, some high protein chickpea pasta, but I'm just kind of watching my carbs at the moment. And then I'm just gonna warm up some pasta sauce in a pan. And that's pretty much it. Oodles and oodles of zoodles. Okay, so the meatballs are looking crispalicious. Oh yeah, baby. They do smell really nice. Look at the texture on that baby. That's gonna be good in some pasta. Yum yum. One thing I've learned about cooking plant-based meatballs is that you really don't need to let them like cook in your sauce for too long, because they could get a little bit soggy and eventually crumble and fall apart, which is never a good situation. So just heat them through for like a couple minutes and serve. Ooh. Wouldn't be complete without a snowfall of vegan Parmesan cheese. I'm so ready for you, meatball. Because I can't really use my zoodles. I can't really scoop up my zoodles with a spoon. That is a meatball. And you cannot convince me otherwise. That is a straight up meatball. Zoodles. I never eat zoodles. This is great. Great meal. Would recommend you try this out. TVP, so amazing. Homemade protein bar for dessert. Recipe for those protein bars are already on my channel very recently, so go check that out. Now you're probably wondering what my dinner macros were. I'm about to tell you. 39 grams of protein, you guys, and only 450 calories. That is like such a win in my books. And let's find out if I hit my protein goals for the day. My goal was 100. Let's see if I did it. Your girl did it. She came in and exceeded. She swung it out of the park. She obliterated her goal. She hit 108 grams of protein with only 1,590 calories. Under 1,600 calories in a day. Amazing. Just goes to prove that you can absolutely get tons of protein with a relatively low calorie intake on a plant-based diet. Blows my mind every time.